My name is Lissika Porlana. I'm born and bred here. I lived life to the fullest till 2006 when my life got shattered. I had a car accident in the Northern Territory, head-on collision with another car. The other person in the car he was 20 times over the limit, full drunk, speeding. We were sitting on between 50 and 60 k's an hour, and that guy was on 210. But yet our car got more smashed than his car, and our car was a brand new 100 series, and his was an 80 series, an old Toyota, but I suppose they made them stronger back in those days. My auntie was the driver. She crushed her chest plate, and it's still broken to this day, and her wrist ended up back here. So she's got 2 plates in it to hold it. My son was in the back seat with his seatbelt on in the middle. They found him under my seat. I broke my head, my skull. I scalped it at the back. My head was bleeding inside, my brain hemorrhage. I broke my neck. Then I broke, but it didn't touch my spinal cord up here. But I broke my spinal cord plus my bone, my spine, and it's actually crushed. So it sits like that now. It's not fully straight. I broke my shoulder, 4 ribs. My lungs, liver, and kidneys was collapsed. I broke my hip, that far from my hip. I broke it here, broke it there, broke it there. From the second I had the accident, like they must have put me in a coma or something, and with all the medication on top of how I was, I sort of seen myself, like when they say you see yourself outside your body, like outer body experience, yeah. Well, I seen that. I don't know where I was, but I could see Bevan's family, which is my partner. I could see him running after a plane, and my body was actually, my top half was inside the plane, the bottom half was outside the plane. So I knew that something was wrong with my spine. I sort of put 2 and 2 together. And then they flew me to Darwin from Gove, and that's when the family, I sort of it was just instinct. I think I knew that I'd lost my daughter. The nurses, I could hear everybody, even though my eyes weren't open and I was laying flat on my back. I could hear every person talking in the room. One of the nurses, my cousin, flew from here, and he had to fly that day, but from here to Perth, Sydney, Brisbane, Gove, Darwin. So he'd done the whole trip of Australia just to get to me, because there was no direct flight from Broome to Darwin. But one of the nurses told him that I wouldn't hear him, because they thought I was going to die in Gove Hospital. They gave up on me. Then when they flew me RFDS to Darwin, the Darwin doctors even said I was going to die.
And you heard everything like that?
I heard everything what they said. So when my cousin came to Darwin, he wanted to come and see me in ICU, and they was like, "Oh, you can talk to her, but she won't hear you." And because I wasn't moving anything, I wasn't moving my arms, I was just laying there flat. When he walked in, because I call him Blackole, so when he walked in, he said, "Oi, it's me, Blackole." And as soon as he said that, I squeezed his hand, and he turned to the nurse and he said, "See, I told you she'd hear me." Now I can't walk. I'm paralyzed from here down, so I can't feel anything at all. I have internal feeling, so when it's cold My legs tingle. When it's hot, they sort of shake. But my feet can move, but it's only through nerves. You'll see it moving there. So it'll just move by itself. That's just all nerves from my spine. My spinal cord, when you cut jelly, it doesn't join back together. So that's how my spine is. I've got half up the top and half down the bottom. It's split straight into two. A lot has come with this injury. I've had to learn to relive again, not being dependent. You know, I've got to be trying to be independent, but I have to rely on my partner, who's been with me right through the whole thing, my mum, my dad, my son, and my 4 brothers. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here now. I can drive. I drove myself here. So they've modified my car so I can, just get that independence back a little bit more, yeah. I still do the same things. I'm still the same type of person as I was before the accident, only I think I'm a bit stronger now, only because of what has happened, yeah. Life gives you heaps of mountains to climb, and this is one of the big mountains that I was given, I suppose, yeah. But it's hard. I get frustrated every day, but can't do anything about it. The good thing is I've had 2 babies since then. I had one last year, a little boy, and I had one this year, unexpected one, that I found out because I can't feel anything, I found out I was 7 months pregnant. I was already 7 months pregnant when I found out I was pregnant. So, it was a shock, but I suppose that's giving me a little bit more hope and stuff, to keep going, I suppose. Even though I get frustrated all the time, it's just, I got my kids there, my family there. And I got goals to set. I've got goals to set. Like I come here talking to the Kimberley girls, which I suppose is a good thing for me, because talking about my injury or, about my injury and the accident and stuff, it helps me inside to, I guess, overcome it, or just to let people be aware of how serious my injury is. From taking no medication, I take 15 tablets 3 times a day. That's morning, lunch and night. And that's just to help my body, or help control my body, I suppose. I can still do anything I want to, but it takes a lot more effort and I guess time, yeah, just to get up and go, it takes me an hour to get ready. Only because when I dress myself, I got to roll from this way to that way, this way to that way, like 6 times, just to pull my trousers up and stuff. So it's time consuming, but I suppose you got to live with it. And I get down every day. I'm sad, and you got to have a strong family and strong support, to get through something as serious as this. I'm on a good, not a good track, but I'm happy because I've got my partner still. I've got 3 kids now, well 4, but we lost a little girl. Plus I have a very strong family connection. It's like I'm not over my daughter yet. She would have turned 5 last month. And every night I still cry for her, but I got a little daughter who's the spitting image of her big sister. She was the same, you know, everything exactly the same. So I guess she's come back to us in this little girl. I mean, I'm living a good life now, I can say that, because I've adjusted myself mostly to how I am. I get frustrated because my legs face out, you know, like look at my foot, can't even stay straight. And I get frustrated with things like that, small things like that. And then I have the most depressing day, but yet as soon as I see my kids or, you know, running around and doing the things, playing and stuff, well then that lifts me up a little bit more. So if it wasn't for my family and my kids, I wouldn't be here today. I used to go, when I first had the accident, for the first 3 years, I had to go to Perth every 3 months for a 10-minute checkup. That was it. And all that money that I had to go, you know, like I didn't have insurance, so I had to pay for it all myself. And that's myself, my son and my partner to fly up and down every 3 months. No wonder blackfella broke now. But yeah, whereas now, because they just put it to every year, a yearly checkup now. You go to Perth or on the plane, you only get to take 1 bag. I have to take 3. That's what, medical stuff in 2 bags, clothes in the other, plus a wheelchair, plus my shower commode, plus my partner or carer. So it's a lot, you know, like I made it to Sydney World Youth Day in Sydney 2008, but I had to take my mum, my dad and my son, as well as this and all my rest of my luggage. And that's the hardest thing that I find with this accident is I can't just get up and go. I have to have either Bevan or Mum there to help me get in the car, help me get out of the car. They have to take me for my showers, everything. It's just, can't you just leave me and let me do what I want to do, you know? But you can't. I can't do it. They give people with my type of injury 9 months to get out of hospital, out of Shenton Park Rehab Centre. I got out in 6 months, only because I couldn't stay there any longer. I made myself do what I had to do, learn what I had to do, and get out of there. This is a sad place. But I wasn't going to see myself drowning my sorrows like that. No way. And that's what, you got to have the determination to, and the strength to do whatever you want. I mean, they told me that I couldn't have kids after this accident, and I've had 2 already in 2 years, not even that. So I proved them wrong there, and I'm determined to prove them wrong in walking again. You'll never really overcome it, no. But I suppose you just live day by day, because anything can happen, whether you expect it or not. Yeah, make the most of your life while you can. I suppose that's just how life made us to be, you know, just to get over this hill. Yeah, but I'm right. See, I say I'm right, but deep down, you know, I am right, and I always say that. I'm right and I'm good and stuff like that, but I just don't let the negative stuff get in front of me, because that will really put me down, and then, you know, I don't think I'll be able to get back up. Yeah, but it's all good. All good.